It looks like Katt Williams has seemingly responded to Faizon Love, calling him the most overrated comedian. On Tuesday morning, Katt would post a picture of a naked Faizon with a caption saying, "Unrated." Katt's comments were filled with support, with many saying Faizon's comments came from a place of hate. Today we have our comedy hype analysts Danielle, Miller, Capone, and Pierre calling to the show, along with a very special guest, comedian Kojo, in studio to give their thoughts and reactions. Now, I know we talked about this yesterday, and Pierre, you actually had an opportunity to talk to Faizon, so I'm very interested to know, how did that conversation go?
Well, Faizon. So, we talked last night. Hey, like he said, it's his opinion, man. And he has a right to his opinion. Maybe, like I said, I didn't agree with it. I told him I didn't agree with it. But opinions are opinions. There's no different than the opinions people leave in the comment section here for us. When they don't like us, we got to respect that opinion, and we got to listen to that opinion. So he had an opinion about, Katt Williams that some people didn't like. Many people didn't like that. So he still has an opinion. But, if you think about it, they're both legendary people, man, in the urban, comedy sector. Just unfortunately, they got beef. But I told Faizon, I said, it's remarkable how much some people, call you a hater and dislike you, but you constantly work. So you have to have a hell of a talent, because he just came from filming the Upshaws on Netflix with Mike Epps and Wanda Sykes. He got a movie coming out called Back to the Strip, Chris Spencer's new movie. So he's working at comedy clubs. So, y'all can call him a hater, you can dislike him, but he is working also. And Katt Williams the same, he's working. But like I said, it's just an opinion, man. And, we all have opinions. Read the comments, people have opinions.
Yeah, and I even saw some people thought like he was seemingly joking a little bit. So it is, he was very much serious.
He told me, at the end of the conversation, he said, I still think he's overrated. I just truly believe he's overrated. So he's going to stand on his 10 toes with that one. And he don't give a damn what y'all say, in the comments. I was like, all right.
I mean, he said, I said what I said. Kojo, let me bring you in. First of all, thank you so much for joining.
No, thanks for having me.
Absolutely, yes. We can give a round of applause.
Thank you
for joining.
Thank you.
So I actually want to take it back, because we haven't heard from you and Danielle on Faizon's comments about Katt Williams. So he would do an interview with The Art of Dialogue and pretty much say that Katt Williams is the most overrated comedian of all time. What are your thoughts and reactions?
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, and it's a statement that is gonna get people talking. To say that he's the most overrated ever is shock value. Do you know what I mean? So for me, I definitely disagree with that. I don't truly believe he believes that as well. I've worked with Faizon, and I know the level of comedians that he appreciates, and it's impossible for me to know the kind of level of comedy that he appreciates, and then to mention Katt Williams as something that's the most, you might as well say he's the worst comedian that has been successful. That's technically what he's saying. And I don't think he's going to be in any room where the majority are going to agree with him.
Right, absolutely. Danielle, let me bring you in, because I know we haven't heard from you on this topic. I'm interested to know, what were your thoughts when you first heard Faizon say, hey, I think Katt Williams is the most overrated comedian of all time?
You're a hater. That's my first thought. You're a hater. Because Katt is not overrated. And I listened to his reasons why he's saying that he's overrated, and which makes me want to believe even more that you're a hater. Because if you're in the industry, you know that everybody has their own lane. It doesn't matter what part of the industry that you may be in, whether it be comedy, music, everybody has their own lane. And he was saying, Katt has never been in movies, and comparing him to Eddie Murphy and Bill Cosby. I think the thing that we're forgetting is that Katt Williams has a very raunchy style of comedy. So for Katt to go catapult and have a TV show like he suggested, I don't even think that was Katt Williams's thing. I think Katt Williams' thing is stand-up comedy. He did some shows, and he did some iconic shows that are staples within the community, such as the Boondocks, and then he did the movie Friday as well. So Katt has his lane. He stayed in his lane, and even the interviewer asked, well, do you think because of his troubles that stagnated his career? And he basically blew it off. But it is the truth. We saw the same thing with Lil' Kim. Lil' Kim's career got stagnant because she went to jail. It's the same thing with Katt. When you get in trouble, it's sort of hard to come back from that and really get your grasp back in the industry. When things like that happen, there's a few that have done it, but it's very difficult. So I think your boy, I think he just was hating. I think Katt Williams is a superb stand-up comedian. He reminds me of Drewski. Drewski would go down as one of the best internet comedians ever, but will I think Drewski have a show or a big movie? I don't think so.
Right, and I mean, we've seen Katt Williams get an Emmy for being in Atlanta, so he's obviously doing very well for himself. Now, I want to move this along. Capone, we haven't heard from you, so I'm going to bring you in on this one. Now we see Katt Williams respond with a photo of Faizon Love naked from Couples Retreat. I'm interested to know, when you saw the post, what was your thoughts and reactions to it?
I thought it was funny. Tasty comeback that didn't escalate into anything. He didn't even really say words, you know. He posted a picture, he put the stamping unrated, and that's pretty much it. And I think that's one of the best ways to deal with a hater.
Pierre, let me bring you in and get your thoughts. What were your thoughts when you saw Katt's reaction and response to Faizon Love?
Perfect. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It all encapsulated everything. But then, to me, again, he's being just as petty. Back to Faizon. Faizon's not unrated now. Come on now. Faizon has a career. Faizon has, you know, he's not unrated. You know, I'm not saying, you know, both of them, who's the best, who's the not the best, but he's not unrated. Let's be honest. Now, if y'all want to get emotional about it, if you want to get more, he's a hater, he's not a hater, whatever. But end of the day, they both going back and forth with some shit. It'd be good when they ever came together again. But, you know, sometimes once beef starts, it can linger for a long time. And this has happened for a long time because he was on my podcast. If you go back and look at my podcast, he explained how the beef started between the two.
So, come on, let me come back to you, and I'm going to work my way around the room. Pierre went on and answered the question, so I'm going to go ahead and ask you as well. What do you think? Do you agree with Katt Williams that Faizon is unrated?
Oh, no, I don't agree with that. Faizon, he definitely got heavy credentials, and he's funny. You know, he definitely, when he gets a role, he kills the role. He stands out, even if it's not a main role. And he's had movies where he was the main character. So, you know, I definitely won't agree with that he's not rated.
Absolutely. Kojo, let me bring you in. Now we're hearing from Katt Williams, who's saying, you know, minimum words, but a lot at the same time. So what was your reaction to the post? And also, do you agree with him that Faizon is unrated?
Impossible. Obviously, I'm in London, so Faizon is well known in the UK. I'm not even sure if he's actually performed there, but his work has done the talking. And sometimes your work can actually travel without you having to be there. So definitely somebody that we respect. He's had too many classic roles, as far as I'm concerned, to be unrated. And saying somebody's unrated is worse than being underrated. It's like you don't exist, basically, is what he's saying. And the picture post was quite hilarious. I did think that was funny. So yeah, I know. Faizon is very much respected in the UK.
Absolutely. Thank you for that input and giving us some insight into that, because I'm pretty sure a lot of people may not know, especially being here in the US. Danielle, let me come to you. Want to get your thoughts. We saw the post. What was your reaction? But also, do you agree with him that Faizon Love is unrated?
It was funny. I will say that. It was petty. But I don't agree with Katt. I think he has some good roles, especially with The Parenthood. I remember him from The Parenthood, and then being an elf. So I can't agree with that one. It was funny. It was petty, but I don't agree.
Absolutely. Well, Pierre, let me change up this conversation a little bit. Pierre, I'm going to start with you, because as you mentioned, this beef has been going on for a long time. We've seen things constantly, and it's still a thing. Recently, Shannon Sharp was in the news for getting into it at a basketball game, and he would come out and apologize and say, hey, you know, I'm too old. I should be de-escalating things, not making things worse. So I got to ask the question, do you think you're ever too old to be beefing? Do you think these two gentlemen, where they're over 50, are too old to be beefing?
Nah, you ain't never too old. Now, you can be too wise, but you ain't never too old. You know, it is, but you'll see two old ladies arguing at church about something, beefing this, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, beef is beef, you know what I'm saying? It keeps you going sometimes. But with the John Morant thing and his father and Shannon Sharp, it's totally different. Shannon Sharp is, he works for a company, you know what I'm saying, for ESPN. So there's a different entity of both these boys are by themselves. There's no company behind them that they have to worry about and watch their, you know, the way they roll. These both independent brothers who can say what the hell they want, and that's what they're doing so far. And you know, it's, you know what, to be honest, this is what the internet is for. Come on, man. This is what we wouldn't have a show, okay? We wouldn't have comedy hype if we didn't have no beef and those stuff. This adds to our daily little bits of nuggets of, oh, you heard what he said? You heard what she said? Come on now, let's not act like if everybody was holding each other's hands singing Kumbaya, this shit would be boring. As long as you don't just de-escalate to something, escalate to something very negative, physical or, harmful. Yeah, it is what it is. At the end of the day, hey, everybody gonna watch this show. After the show, they're going right back to work and doing what they're doing. I said, okay, they got their own problems.
Capone, let me bring you in with that same question. Do you think there's an age limit on beef? Do you think at some point you're just too old to be beefing?
Yeah, that's why I zen.
The hell
I zen. And I zen because I know what I'm capable of doing. So I don't want to go to jail. I don't want to hurt nobody. So I put all my anger into the bowl. So that's what I do. I'm too old to be doing anything. So when you zen, it doesn't matter what your age is. This keeps the enemies away. That's all I'm gonna say. Anybody jump in my face, you're gonna see the bowl, baby.
Danielle, let me come to you and ask this question to you as well. What do you think? Do you think there's an age limit where it's just like, man, I'm just too old for beef?
Yes, babe. There's an age limit. Like, I think they're too old. I think these guys too old to be beefing, especially because it's been so long. Like, Jesus, y'all can't pick up the phone and call each other and squash it and figure out what the problem is and be over with it. Like, to harbor that much energy and that much anger towards somebody for so long it's exhausting. It's exhausting for me to even think about it. So I do think I agree with Pierre. I do think that you don't get old, you get wiser. I think that you're old. My motto, you're only old when you're 90. That's my motto. The Queen was old. But there comes a point in time in your life where you have to gain control over your emotions. And that comes with time and experience and self-discipline. And just to be harboring beef with somebody, that means you don't have discipline. You don't have control over yourself to allow somebody to get you to that point of anger where you're speaking about them in a negative way for both of these men. And then it also says, like, if they was to see each other in public, who knows what might happen? So I think they're too old to not be able to control their anger and to have some level of discipline in this situation.
Coach, let me bring you in. Same question. What do you think? Do you think these guys are too
Man,
old to be
no.
beefing? Is there a limit?
No, there's no limit. There's no limit. I think they're exercising discipline by not putting hands on each other. Do you see what I'm trying to say? I feel like we live in a world where everything's tight now, and yeah, like, speak your mind. Do you know what I mean? Like, if somebody does something to you, I'm not too old to respond to that. Yeah. It just happened. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So I'm still allowed to be emotional. I don't think there's an age limit to a natural instinct. I just think the discipline is that back in the day, before the internet, they would have seen each other outside or probably at a comedy club, and it would have been physical. So at least it's not that. So I don't think there's an age limit at all.
Yeah, stop at the words. We don't need the violence or anything extra. Just words. Now, I can't help but notice we have a lot of people. We have London, we have Bahamas, we have New York, we have DC on the call. So I'm gonna throw. This is just random, a random question. Capone, I'm gonna start with you. When it comes to comedians coming out of a city, what city do you think produces the best comedians? And I'm gonna start with you, Capone.
New York, hands down. Everybody comes to New York to get their chops because the audience don't play. All these other places, you become a favorite, but it ain't like New York. New York, that's the home of the Apollo. I've been there for 29 years. I seen people get destroyed. And so, New York, it's not only about the comedy, it's about the audience. That audience, they're not taking no prisoners. You're not gonna just bring up anything. So yeah, I think New York.
I love it. Now, I'm not trying to start no beef, but Pierre, I gotta come to you because I see you looking around and doing a lot of moving. So, what's your thoughts? What city produces the best comedians?
Well, I can tell you the city that produces a senile comedian. Okay, goddamn New York. He praises all outdoors. He thinks New York is better. Let me just name a quick list of great comics out of Washington, D.C. You got Earthquake. You got Martin Lawrence. You got Tommy Davidson. You got Dave Chappelle. You got Ashley Larry, aka Danielle Rollins. You got Tony Woods. You got Wanda Sykes. You got Teddy Carpenter. You got me. I mean, the list can keep going. Now, I didn't hear him say that. Do I have to repeat this whole damn list? I got more names. Yeah, there you go. Washington, D.C., the DMV area got the dopest comedians.
Well, let me bring Kojo. You're out in London, so I gotta know your thoughts.
First of all, I don't like the laughter that's happening before I've even said anything. You all have been to London. Put some respect on London, first of all, okay? Or that will be your last show. Anyway, I would say I don't think the UK has produced a comedian that has crossed over to America yet. Hopefully, I'm that person. But I will say, from my travels in America, I would lean towards what Capone said. Ooh. Because I feel like, although Pierre listed some icons, comedians that I consider to be icons, Martin Lawrence is the reason why I started. Dave Chappelle's a very close friend of mine now, who's allowed me to tour with him. But like Capone said, all of those DC comedians had to come through New York. They had to. And I don't think Pierre will be in denial about the importance that New York has had in terms of comedians getting regular work, doing maybe 5 shows a night, and really honing their craft. And even in 2023, New York is still a place where comics will go to really test their material out for real. So, and Eddie Murphy's from New York. I mean, you know.
That was not the question. The question wasn't what city do you have to work out at, and you know, got a lot of comedians. We said it came.
New York, Pierre. New York, Pierre.
So name comedian from New York.
New York, Pierre. Eddie Murphy, Chris Rock.
That's it.
Danielle, I'm gonna ask you. I know you and I are probably you and I are the only non-comedians on the floor. But I'm interested to know what is that scene like out there in the Bahamas for you?
So let me first give a shout out to London, as we are the countries that are represented that are not a part. We're not a part of the U.S. I know about Kojo. I've heard the name Kojo before. I'm not going to get into this Tropsy question about which city produces the best.
Don't do it.
I am just going to say, in the Bahamas, we are natural comedians. Like every day, you get a joke every day.
Oh my God.
Pierre, in the Bahamas, we literally have the most.
The Oscar goes to her.
Thank you, and the Emmy, and the Golden Globe. Give it all to me, because the Bahamas has natural comedians. Honestly and truly, if you ever come to the Bahamas, we are very friendly people, and we jokey bad. Like, we don't even know we'd be cracking jokes, and we'd be cracking jokes. Like, if you ever come down to the Bahamas and talk to the people that are here, you will get a belly full of laughter every time. We're just naturally funny. We just give jokes out for free. Y'all should come down here and get some material. I'm just saying.
Get him, Danielle.
I am not mad at it at all. We would definitely have to make sure we pay a visit. We get beautiful scenes from you, and I guess to get some jokes and some good laughs as well. Now, as always, I appreciate y'all for chiming in on this topic. Of course, before heading out, I'd like to know what you have going on. So I'm actually going to start with our special guest, Kojo, because he's here from London. So first and foremost, how's everything been with you?
Everything's good. This is I've been to Atlanta before, but this is a whole new Atlanta. Yeah. Like, I mean, we was talking off camera, like, people are carrying guns like mobile phones. You know, I saw somebody charging their gun the other day. Like, charging it, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, do you need Wi-Fi to shoot out here? Like, I'm ready to leave. Thank you for having me, Comedy Hype, but until you guys move to LA, you might not see me again. I'm gonna do what, these guys are smart, that's why you're on Zoom. Because you've been to Atlanta, you know what's going on. I'm gonna be on Zoom next time, you're gonna get, yeah, I'm sorry. But I'm in LA now, so loads of stuff coming. I'm pitching a show. I think we're gonna get a pilot for it, so it's exciting. And I'm working on a new hour as well. You know, I'm gonna be working with Dave as well this year, touring. So I'm excited to be in America again.
Absolutely, and congratulations. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
The show is basically kind of based around my life. I grew up in foster care. So it's a family that taking 2 kids and try and give them a better opportunity. So look out for it.
Yeah, we definitely will. Congratulations. And last and certainly not least, how can people keep up with you and follow you?
Oh yeah, follow me on all socials. Actually, not on all socials. Kojo Anim Live, ANIM Live, and yeah, you can follow me on Instagram and TikTok.
Okay, awesome. And we'll have that at the bottom. Danielle, I'm gonna come to you. What do you have coming up? And of course, how can people follow you?
So you can follow me on Instagram at DEEA Miller. You can also follow my YouTube channel. Subscribe to it. Be sure to subscribe. It's Danielle, DENIELLE. And I'm going to do something very special today since we wanted to bring this topic up. Today in my stories on Instagram, I am going to post and tag the Bahamian comedians that we have here. And you guys can be the judge yourselves in terms of that. So that's what I'm going to do today.
I love that. I love it, love it, love it. Mr. Sound Bowl, Capone, what do you have?
Sambo. Sambo. Sambo.
Sound Bowl.
Oh, Sound Bowl. You go ahead and Sambo. Damn.
Sound Bowl. Sound Bowl. Y'all talk about y'all.
Okay, my bad. My bad. I thought I heard something else.
Sound Bowl. Come on, what do you have coming up? And of course, how can people follow you?
Tomorrow, I will be in New Jersey with Toure doing the Valentine's Day show, probably dedicated to all the side chicks, being that the guys are with their chicks today. Then the weekend, I will be in Baltimore Comedy Factory. And then the next weekend, guess where I'll be at, Sim?
Atlanta.
DC. With Joe Claire, a New York going to headline in DC with all the, them guys that's going to be on the show too. Yeah, so I'll be there. Hope to see Pierre because, New York will take over that day. So I'll be there.
I know that's right.
And how can people follow you, Capone?
You can follow me right here on Instagram, Comedian Capone. If you cannot spell comedian, please do not follow me.
And last and certainly not least, Mr. DC, Pierre, what do you have coming up? And of course, how can people follow you?
Well, I'm like Kojo. I'm pitching a new show too called A Sane Asylum. It's about a podcast with a lot of comedians and shit from all over the country talking recklessly called Comedy Hype The Dungeon. So that's what we're doing. No, I'm for those my people in Phoenix, Arizona. I'll be there this Sunday at the Shrine Auditorium. Please come on out. It's on 40th Street in Phoenix, Arizona. Shout out to all y'all. We got a great show. We got the great Don DC Curry on my podcast, Pierre's Panic Room on YouTube. He drops the dimes, the nickels, the pennies. He talks about everything, man. So it's I'm looking forward to it for y'all to see it. Really good interview, man. He talks about a lot of stuff. He got a Steve Harvey story that's off the chain.
And of course, how can people follow you?
Man, if y'all ain't following me by yet, man, y'all need to follow me, man. Go to Comedy High. I mean, go just watch me here. Yeah, okay.
Well, again, I appreciate you all for chiming in on this topic. Happy Valentine's Day to you all and to everyone that's watching. You heard from us. Now we want to hear from you in the comments below. What are your thoughts of Katt Williams responding, calling Faizon Love unrated? For Comedy Hype News, I'm Symphony Thompson.
Oh, please, in the comments. Oh, yeah.
Love in the comments.
Put your opinion like you don't like no one else to have. Yeah.
Big fan of the Comedy Hype News Show? Well, now you can join us live in studio for lunch at Comedy Hype. Click the link down below in our description or go to our Instagram page and click the link in our bio for your chance to RSVP. I hope to see you here for Comedy Hype News. I'm Symphony Thompson.